If you want a Corolla GR, well, I'm here to tell you, brace yourselves. Hey everyone, it's Marcello here at the Toyota World YouTube channel, and I'm at Maple Toyota with a 2022 Toyota Corolla hatchback. But in this video, we're going to talk specifically on what it's going to look like to get your hands on the GR and what allocation is going to look like just ahead. But first, why don't we touch on what we already know? Now, well, we know that it's all-wheel drive, and it's specifically an all-wheel drive system that you can customize where the power is going, front of the vehicle, back of the vehicle, and so on. We know that it's only going to come in a manual transmission. We know that it's going to have a 3-cylinder, 300 horsepower turbocharged engine. And let's talk about what else we know. Well, we know that it's going to come in two specific models and trims. It's going to come in the core grade, which is going to be a little bit more of your mainstream Corolla GR. It's going to be a little bit more of product available for that one when comparing to this Circuit Edition. Circuit Edition is going to be a more of a low supply, select supply. We're going to talk about allocation, what that's going to look like potentially for Canada. We've already heard about it from ToyotaJeff over in the US. I'll put a link to his video in the description below, and he talks about what allocation is going to look like for the United States. And as you may already know, we are a much smaller market here in Canada when comparing to the US, and typically we do not get as much inventory as the United States gets. Of course, I mean, it just goes without saying, but let's touch on a few more other features. Now, both the core grade and the Circuit Edition will each come in 3 available colors. The core grade will come in a silver, black, and a red, whereas the Circuit Edition, again, limited run production. There's not going to be too many of these at all. We'll touch on that in just a second. But the Circuit Edition will come in a red, a white, and a heavy metal, which we've all seen already floating over the internet. It's a nice, deep silver gray color. Haven't seen it in person, obviously, but I can't wait. And when you decide to go with the Circuit Edition, it will be coming with some very sporty, lightweight, forged carbon fiber components, and that'll be on the hood, the roof, and it'll come with a very sporty, aggressive, forged carbon fiber rear spoiler. Let's move the rest of this discussion inside and go over how it's going to look like to get your hands on a GR Corolla hatch. So let's talk about what's happening for the United States production and how many core models are going to be made and produced for dealers versus how many Circuit Editions, and see what the breakdown looks like. And then we can pretty much well determine more or less where we're going to stand in terms of the Canadian allocation, Canadian market, and go from there. So right now it looks like they're going to produce about 6,600 total Corolla GR. Now, out of that 6,600, we're going to be looking at about 1,500 Circuit Editions, and the rest, which is just over 5,000, will be the core grade. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, from a dealership perspective, that pretty much means that every dealership in the United States will get about 1 Circuit Edition. That's right, 1. What about the core grade? Well, it breaks down to about 4 per dealership. So there will be slightly more core grade models. I do anticipate that to be the same for the Canadian market and Canadian allocation. But guys, check out the numbers. 1 Circuit Edition per store and about 4, so 3, 4, maybe 5 per dealership, per Toyota store in the US for the core grade core edition. So what does that mean for us here in Canada? Now, going back to allocation in Canada for a second. So if in the United States, they're getting about 1 per store of the Circuit Edition and about 3 to 4 roughly of the core grade, then for Canada, I can very well see it being 1 per store for the Circuit Edition. I don't see it being more. I can actually see it being a little bit more scarce than that. I can see it where not every Toyota dealer in Canada gets a Circuit Edition. I can see that as a possibility. With regards to the core grade, I do think it'll be similar. I think it'll be about the same as the US allocation, a couple per store. That might mean 2, that might mean 5, that might mean 4. So again, as soon as they had the press release, which was March 31st, our phones, our emails went flying off the hook. want to put my name down, want to put my name down, want to put my name down, we probably could have taken about 100 pre-orders and customers' information, but we don't find that to be, like I said, best business practice. We are not going to do that. And don't believe, guys, don't think that because you have your name on a pre-order list or a wait list, that that's going to guarantee you a spot and that that's going to guarantee you a vehicle within, let's say, the next year, or at least the first model production year. So first and foremost, what you need to do is you need to call around and you need to find a dealer who is willing to open up a wait list or a pre-order list. So why I stress willing to do this is because most dealerships, perhaps a lot of dealerships, may not have a wait list, may not have a sold order list for this vehicle, because knowing what we already know, us here at Maple Toyota, we don't find it to be the best business practice to take customers' information, take their deposits of, thousands of dollars to hold for X amount of time, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months, whatever that might be, for something that we don't even know if we're going to be able to fulfill. So a lot of dealerships like ourselves, we are leaving it right now where there is no wait list, there is no order list. We are going to wait for more information from Toyota and see what the allocation really truly does look like. And then from there, we will make a decision, guys. Some dealerships, if they know they're only going to get one circuit edition, they may not even sell it. They may already have a customer lined up for this vehicle. Maybe it's the owner's friend, or maybe it's for the owner themselves, the owner's son, or whatever the case might be. It's a very limited production, very high demand and low supply vehicle, which may not be produced for very long. So don't be shocked, don't be disappointed if you call around multiple Toyota stores in Canada and you are not able to put yourself on a wait list, or you're not able to put yourself on a pre-order list. That dealership, like us at Maple Toyota, may just be saving you a lot of aggravation and a lot of false hope. When you find a dealership that has a pre-order list or a waiting list, before you give them your deposit, your information, ask them, what position am I going to be in terms of customers? What customer am I? Am I customer number 3, customer number 2, customer number 15? And then from there, you will be able to get an understanding of where you actually sit in terms of realistically taking possession of a 2023 Corolla GR. When they released all this information to us on March 31st, we already kind of knew it was going to be a limited supply, limited availability vehicle. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, smash it with a thumbs up. Take care.